show by Sosa. Since 1974, Haynes Total Healthcare has been proudly serving the Chillicothe community and surrounding counties, providing exceptional care to over 50,000 patients every year. Whether you're seeking chiropractic care, physical therapy, or nutritional guidance, we've got you covered. From athletes to seniors and from pediatrics to geriatrics, we treat patients of all ages, helping you live pain-free, stay active, and feel your best. With a place in the top 1% clinics nationwide, you can trust that you're in good hands. We're open 6 days a week, ready to serve your family for years to come. Haynes Total Healthcare Center, where healing happens for every stage of life. Call for an appointment today or visit us at hayneshealth.com. I'm Jeran Cox, and joining me, as usual, to my left, Matt Hoops and Christian Spradlin across from us tonight. And I think we got a good show lined up for you guys tonight. We got a couple of Uniota baseball players coming in, Jackson Zickafoose and Jack Welch. They had a big win earlier today in a district semifinal game. And then we have Piketon girls softball. We have their coach and 4 players coming in later to be on the show also. So, Matt, it's been a week since we've been in here. I feel like there's been a lot of tournament action and, you know, just kind of any thoughts of anything that's happened or been going on?
No, I just think that it's par for the course in terms of teams having to play through bad weather. I feel like every tournament game has not been in really good conditions. But fortunately for the SVC, there's still several teams in baseball still playing. I believe Piketon's the only girls team left in the softball that's still alive for the SVC.
Yeah.
And then a couple local teams in terms of baseball and other divisions that are still playing around here. So, I'm sure that they would rather be playing in nice weather, but they'll continue to take what's given to them and move on as far as they can and worry about the weather later, I guess.
Absolutely. I know, in Division III and a district semifinal earlier today, Jackson was a winner over Chillicothe. And Circleville, they just got done playing probably about a half hour ago. They knocked off Athens. And so Jackson and Circleville are going to square off tomorrow for a district championship. And kind of the intriguing thing to me about that game is, Jackson's the 1 seed, Circleville's the 3. You get to the district final, everybody's good at that point. But Jackson's used to playing this back-to-back game with the FAC schedule.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see how they, who they run out there. I feel like when we talked to Jackson's coach earlier, they really were comfortable with 3 of their pitchers, and a lot of their guys throw anyway. So we'll see.
I got on them earlier in the year, and they are the real deal.
Yeah.
So, Division IV, we said earlier, Uniota knocked off New Lexington 11-0. And just recently, just became a final a little bit ago, Westfall knocked off Logan Elm. So Uniota and Westfall, round 3, district championship will be Thursday.
Yeah, and the SVC is going to have at least one district champion, guaranteed. I believe the second time Uniota Westfall played, took a walk-off single in the bottom of the 7th for Uniota to knock them off. So pretty evenly matched teams. Looking forward to that on Thursday.
And I think KB Perkins should be available for Uniota if what I'm hearing is true to pitch that game. That's a plus for Uniota. Zane Trace in Division 5, they're going to play their district semifinal game tomorrow at 2:00 against Minford. I believe that's at the VA. Then we still have Dina alive in Division 6. They play Reedsville Eastern on Thursday, and Chillicothe Huntington. They're still alive. They're playing Manchester on Thursday also.
The winner of those 2 games play?
Yes. So we could see an Adina Huntington.
Another all SVC district final.
Yeah. And then Southeastern, they're still alive. Their district semifinal game is the 30th, which I believe is Friday.
Right.
They're going to play Sims Valley. So those are 3 teams that, middle of the pack finish in the SVC. And, there's some really good teams at the top of the SVC. Uniota, Zane Trace, they're still playing. Westfall, obviously. So, it
looks good. And I think
it does look good.
And I think that, going to the 7 divisions helps even more when they're spread out like that.
Yep. Then just taking a quick look here at softball, and then we'll move on. In Division 4, you got Hillsboro. They're pretty local. They're playing in their regional semifinals. They won their district championship the other day. They're going to play Morgan. And Logan Elm, for the second year in a row, they won their district championship, and they play Meadowbrook on the 28th, which is tomorrow. If those two teams win, they could match up in the regional championship on the 30th. Is that for Friday? Friday, yeah.
Yep.
And then D5 girls, we'll talk to them more later, but Piketon, what a week it was for SVC. We talked about last week, we had Morgan York in here with Zane Trace. They knocked off Ironton. Had a Piketon versus Zane Trace district championship game. Piketon scored 5 runs in that first inning, kind of took control, ended up beating Zane Trace. Piketon's in the regionals. They play tomorrow against Wheelersburg in the regional semifinal. Wheelersburg's undefeated. I think they're ranked number 1 in the state.
Right. So we had that means Zane Trace was a district runner-up. Adina was a district runner-up. Piketon was a regional champ. That's pretty good.
Yep. And then Wellston. They're
district
down
champ.
Yeah, Wellston down there. They're also pretty local TVC. They're playing in the regional against Tusky Valley. So a crazy week in high school tournament baseball and softball. And we had a crazy night down there at Mary Lou Patton Park the other night too, Coach.
Yeah, I see you're representing the Dragons.
We're representing the Dragons. We had a crazy game against the Eagles. I think it was 11-1. We were losing going into that bottom of the 5th inning. And of course, the 10-run rule goes into effect, and we scored a run somehow. I don't remember exactly how we did it. Made it 11-2, and made it go to that last inning, the 6th inning. I think we gave up 4 more runs. It made it 15-2. And that's where things got pretty interesting. First batter comes up and strikes out. Second batter comes up and strikes out. So we get 2 outs right off the bat. And I'm standing down there on third base just thinking, this game's probably going to be over
Get the
soon.
treat tickets ready.
Yep. Third batter comes up. He strikes out, but it's a drop third strike. And he starts running to first base. The ball hits him in the back, and he beats it to first. So he's safe. Like, okay. So I think the next guy, and then the pitcher ran out of pitches. And you know how that gets when you get in Little League Baseball.
You better hope that it doesn't happen at the wrong time.
So the next batter comes up, new pitcher, and we get a walk. We get first and second, and score still 15-2.
Yeah, might as well steal.
Might as well steal. What do you have to lose, right? So we give him the steal sign and goes to third base, and that third baseman drops the ball. And our kid on third base, and we're in the third base dugout. He gets on third. He looks over the dugout. He gives them one of these.
Oh, yeah. Here comes the rally.
Here come the Dragons. The next thing you know, we get to like 15-7. And, I see the Eagles coach over there. He's starting to get a little nervous or whatever, okay. Well, we get it to 15-9. I think we scored on a pass ball or whatever. We had first and third with still 2 outs.
Oh, yeah.
And
2 outs for a long time.
For a real long time. And our kids are still going nuts in the dugout.
Oh, yeah.
They're 2 out Bradley. Not 2 out Raleigh. It's 2 out Bradley. We've got a kid on our team named Bradley. First and third. And my son's on third base. I tell him, hey, there's 2 outs. When the ball's hit, we're going on contact. We're going home. And
unless it's hit to the third base.
Well, Bradley's up to bat. Bradley hits a ground ball to the third baseman. So Braxa starts running home. And the third baseman feels it, sees Braxton running. He throws it home.
Right.
The catcher touches the plate and kind of walks away.
Game over.
Thinking it's a force out. No, it was not a force out. The run we touched home plate, made it 15-10. And all of a sudden, we're like at number 9 or 10 in our batting order. Get a couple walks, 2 more runs score. I don't even remember how he scored two more runs. Maybe 3. Had to been 3. We get to 15-13. So we have the bases loaded, 15-13, 2 outs, and the top of our lineup is up. And the kid's ahead 1-0 in the count. A pitch comes in low. He swings, hits it, grounds it back to the pitcher. We get thrown out. We lose 15-13. But you never know what's going to happen.
Not in baseball.
In Little League Baseball.
Especially Little League.
That inning was about at least 45 minutes.
Man.
I'll tell you how long it was. My wife ordered pizza from Domino's in the 4th inning, and they called her when the game was still going.
Asking
Are you coming to pick this up? Yes.
Yeah. That's what happens. There's late night Little League games, and you got to feed them somehow.
Yep. Yes, you do.
And
yes, you
a
do.
little premature on the order.
Yes, we were. We were thinking we might get run ruled, and then
You know, sometimes when you're in that situation, you just go ahead and take the run rule so you don't waste any more pitchers.
well, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. We do have 8 or 9 kids that can pitch for us this year.
That's good.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, there's my little league baseball rant.
That's good. It's good stuff.
It was quite entertaining, and the kids had fun. After the game, you'd have thought our kids had won the game.
Well, yeah,
they were real excited.
A lot of momentum there until the very end.
Yeah, I think we walked 11 times in that last inning. So it's
good
crazy.
Eye. You giving them take till you get a strike?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. No, we was not. That's one thing I don't do. I let our kids
hitters.
hit. Let our kids go hit. So
good.
All right, we're going to take a break. We come back. We're going to be joined by Unioda baseball players Jack Welch and Jackson Zickafoos. back to the Haynes Total Healthcare Coaches Call-In Show by Sosa. Joining us now, we have Unyota baseball players Jackson Zickafoose and Jack Welch. And guys had a game earlier today in pretty quick time, an 11-0 win over New Lexington. Talk to us a little bit about that game, how it went for you guys.
The weather wasn't very good, but we knew they were a pretty decent team. Obviously, they just went out and shut out Waverly a couple of days before. So we went into it, and I've never really been more locked in for a baseball game, really, other than when we played St. Trace for the Gold Bowl. But we knew that they were a pretty good team, good defense, they hit good. But obviously, we had KB on the mound. He's a very good pitcher, obviously. So he went out there, and he just played his heart out. I mean, threw an amazing game, gave up, I think, one run the whole game, maybe. And then, obviously, our bats came out and helped him out, especially in the second inning. We put up 9.
I think he gave up 0 runs. Was
zero.
it 11-0?
I thought you said you were locked into that game.
I wasn't really paying attention to the score.
You were so locked in you didn't know the score.
Yeah.
Good answer, Jackson. That's a good answer. There you go. I can tell you one thing. Neither of you needed those sunglasses on your head
It's just
today.
a habit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's an accessory. You
All
gotta
right.
have 'em.
Yeah.
They always look baseball.
Yeah.
Like the Ellie De La Cruz visors there.
Right. Yeah.
Well, mine are as pretty as Jack's, but
They do the job. When it's sunny.
$9 right here, by the way. $9.
Mine were free. I stole them from Caden.
Okay.
We have
Speaking
a
of Caden,
yeah.
oftentimes when we have the Unyota athletes in here, we'll have a live studio audience. And today we have a studio audience of 1. Caden cut right in the doorway. But just building off today's game, you guys just talked about it a minute ago. 11-0 win over New Lex. Jackson, I actually wasn't able to make it to the game, so I was texting your dad for updates, and it was like 2:50. I texted him, and I thought, it's probably in the second or third inning. And he texted me back, top 5, 11-0, and then he texted me back 4 minutes later, and he said, game over, 54 minutes. That has to be the fastest baseball game you've ever played in.
It's pretty quick.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably passes.
So Jack, tell us about that second inning. What happened? How'd you guys get 9 runs in that inning?
I mean, we got the bats out, obviously. So, I don't remember who started it off, but.
KB with a
KB.
double, right?
Oh,
KB
yeah, it
with
was
a
KB with a double, yeah. Honestly, that ball probably would have been gone if the conditions weren't that. But, I mean, we got the bats out. KB started off well. Obviously, he pitched a good game, too. So, but, I mean, we saw the ball really well today, put the barrel on the ball, and, just ended up scoring a lot.
Seemed like New Lex's pitcher threw a lot of first pitch fastballs that you guys were able to jump on early. I know they you guys went down 1-2-3 the first inning, but then, like you said, the second inning, 9 runs and pretty much the rest was history. You guys, bat 1 and 2 to start the lineup off. Your first time through, you guys are the ones seeing it, obviously first. Talk about the difference between the next time you guys come up and kind of just setting the table for the rest of the team.
Obviously, as a leadoff hitter, you don't get to really see as much. Obviously, the first at bat, I mean, you just have to. A lot of leadoff guys like to take a first pitch. Normally, if I see a first pitch fastball, I like to swing it. Today, he threw me a first pitch fastball. I obviously didn't like the pitch, so I didn't swing. I didn't really see any off speed until my third at bat, so I didn't really know what that looked like at all. But that's when you just got to ask your teammates how the pitches look, and they'll let you know how the off speed is, if it moves at all. And then he threw me a slider. He threw me 2 my third at bat, and I didn't strike out, but I just hit a ground ball. But it's a big difference between your first at bat and then the next couple at bats. I mean, it really helps a lot because you also get to stand in the dugout and watch it.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I mean, first at bat, obviously, we're kind of going in blind. But told you the voice cracks. But we're going in blind, so like the second at bat coming around, we have more of an idea. Today he was throwing a lot more fastballs than off speed, so we were able to just hop on the fastball a lot more.
Let's talk about your base running a little bit. I guess this question is more for Jackson. I got to watch you guys play a couple times this year, but I feel like when you get on base, it's really important for you to get on base, not only just because you're the leadoff, but with your speed. It kind of takes pitchers out of their game because they spend some time worrying about you over there. Like I think there was 1 or 2 times this year where either I was umpiring or just watching. I seen him make a throw over to first and try to pick you off, and it's a bad throw, right? And then you get to second or third, or they're so worried about you, they just, you know, give you a meatball right in there for the next batter. Just talk about what you're
Set
really,
Jack up,
yeah, absolutely. Just talk about what you know, when you get your lead, like what are you thinking? Like, are you trying to make him throw over, or just talk to us about your strategy over there?
Beginning of the year, my lead was like kind of small. I mean, it was always the beginning of the season. I was still learning and stuff. We got to get Caden out of here. I'm sorry. He's making me laugh. But obviously, the season progresses. We learn, we get better. Towards the end of my season, my lead has gotten, I'd say, it's gotten a pretty good amount bigger. Obviously, I get on base, and I know like I can pretty much steal on any pitcher, any catcher. So I go up there, and I normally just want to see the pitchers like move, see if he quick pitches or not, see what he's doing. But if that pitcher, if I like get his motion down and see how many times, a lot of pitchers they'll like look over, and if they don't switch it up, if they just look over once and then do it over and over again, after they look once, I'll break. So I mean, I just look for a lot of little things on pitchers, and I just try to pick them up. And obviously, I've stolen a good amount of bags this year, but obviously not as much as I should. But yeah, I always just try to pick up little details like that and just try to get stolen and just get in runners position, scoring position for the guys coming up, because we have some pretty good hitters coming up.
It sounds like maybe you have the green light anytime you want.
Yeah, T sometimes will like, if it's a good catcher, I know like to chill, but I mean T knows I can basically steal on anyone around.
What's it like? You know, obviously it's a little bit easier to steal on a righty, but how big of a benefit is it to work off of like stealing bases in practice off of someone like KB?
Oh, it definitely helps a lot, because obviously I'd say probably the best pitcher in the SBC by far. So
Got a good catcher back there.
oh
too.
yeah, and Keegan's a very good catcher. So I mean, we probably have the
Even
best.
both those guys. I mean,
Yeah.
like that's got to help. Like if you're working on base running in practice and you got to steal off of KB on the mound and Keegan catching, that's advantage you guys, because
Oh,
there's
yeah.
probably not going to be a better combination of that you're going to face, I would say.
Yeah, and like obviously those guys have been together since, I mean, they started varsity as freshmen. So I mean, they've been there for a long time. They have really good communication with each other, just very good. So like KB has a very good pickoff move, and obviously Keegan has a very good like pop time, very good pickoff move back to first. So like a lefty, yeah, it's a lot different stealing off him, because if you have a steal, I mean, you just have to go as soon as he picks up his foot. So if he picks you off, you just got to go.
Keep going.
Yeah, and obviously KB, like he's pretty good with it. So I mean, it's definitely tough, but obviously we get better as the season goes, just working off of them and stuff.
Now, Jack, you play some center field, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're out there, when you're in the field, you know, does Jackson or your second baseman, they give you guys like any type of hand signal so you know what type of pitch is coming? Maybe you can cheat one way, or how do you guys kind of communicate with each other?
Yeah, so sometimes the middle infield, they give us some hand signals behind their back, just letting us know what Keegan's calling. So I try to look for those, and then I adjust my position based off that. So that helps a lot when they know what's coming.
I'm going to ask a question because my son plays in the outfield some too. So when there's a fly ball hit to you, like, you know, if it's a lefty hitting a fly ball, like it tends to curve one way, or righty goes the other way.
Right.
What advice would you give to like younger players who are playing out there? Like, you know, you see a fly ball not coming right at you. Just talk about maybe your approach when you see a fly ball coming. What are you doing?
Yeah, so a lot of times, especially my coaches, they tell me to play the wind. So I look at the flagpole, or try and find a flagpole wherever it is on the field, and I look to see where the wind's going, and then I use that at my advantage. So normally if a ball is like high, it's going to go wherever the wind's going. So if it's a really high pop-up, I'm going to shade to the wind. So let's say the wind's blowing to the right, then pop up high in the air, I'm going to go as far to right and try and beat it there.
But you're going to try to get underneath the ball and catch it in front of you, not like, you know, out here reaching.
Yeah, I
and
know
grabbing
it's some kids like to make the all-star plays, but you know, Coach Taylor, he likes the two hands on the ball, especially Bum will yell at you.
This
if you
is
don't have two
recording,
hands on
right,
the ball.
Christian? Okay.
So little kids, make sure you have two hands.
Two hands on it.
Always.
First steps back.
Yeah, first step's always back.
Right.
There you go. So, big win today, obviously, for you guys. You got a district championship game coming up against Westfall. What is that, Thursday?
Yeah.
Just at round 3, just kind of talk to us about, your kind of initial thoughts going into that game.
I think we're going to be ready. I mean, we know we can beat them. Obviously, we beat them twice this year already. But, I mean, it's not like we've blown them out either. I mean, we beat them 3-2 at our place on a walk-off. And obviously they threw Stone Rock today. He's a very good pitcher, good lefty. And we're not going to face him at all. I mean, he threw over 100 pitches, threw a really good game today. So we're not really sure who we're going to face yet. Probably Tuttle. He's a very good pitcher. I'm pretty sure he's another lefty. We faced him
First time.
we faced him at Westfall, and I think we did pretty well off him. So obviously we have practice tomorrow, and then we can hit before our games on Thursday. So, I mean, at practice, we're just going to be dialed in. We can work on what we need to. We can obviously, he has a good breaking ball as well. So, I mean, we can get the pitching machine out, work on the breaking balls and all this and that. And honestly, like, when we're locked in, I think we're really good. I mean, all of the games that we've lost, I mean, we just haven't hit well. We have probably the best pitching around. Like, our pitching is very, very good. So, I mean, our pitchers always throw good. We can always count on that. But we just got to go out and help our pitchers out and put up some runs for them.
You guys talk about a little bit about, we're out of school now. Obviously, different routine. You played at 2:00 today, which is, it's a little bit of a strange time. But even on Thursday for a district final, a district championship, you're going to play at 4:00. Just talk about how your approach changes, or if it does at all, or your routine changes, heading into Thursday's game.
Yeah, so obviously tomorrow we're going to have a not practice after school. I think we're practicing 11 to 1, so it's an early practice for us. But then going into the game, we'll probably get down at the field 2 hours before the game. Taylor likes to get there early, so we'll probably get some batting practice in. It's definitely different from school, though, because obviously we practice on our own field and we get ready on our own field. We'll probably get ready down there, so new environment that we got to get used to. We'll hit in their batting cages, so it's just we got to get used to the environment a little bit, our surroundings, and ultimately just stay dialed.
Have you guys batted off a KB in practice before?
Yeah.
Yeah. So facing a lefty probably doesn't bother you guys a whole lot.
I like facing lefties more.
Oh, yeah, they both hit right-handed, so.
Lefties.
You like that ball coming in at you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier than going away from you.
Yeah.
I mean,
Makes
as a
sense.
left-handed hitter, obviously, I loved hitting off right-handed guys. I mean, that's a huge advantage.
You were
too.
a lefty hitter?
Yeah. It's a funny story. I'm not the fastest in the world. And,
Yeah.
my grandpa knew this at the age of 4 or 5, and he told my dad, he's like, hey, you need to get him hitting left-handed. And my dad said, he's right-handed. And my grandpa Neil said, yeah, but he's not the fastest. So we're going to need him a step closer to first. So left-handed it was. And I don't know. It worked out.
Yeah.
Saw a lot more right-handed pitchers. I know that. So thankful for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach, you got anything else?
No,
for these
just,
guys?
yeah, I think you have a great opportunity. I think that the team can draw a lot from you two, and as well as others that have won a district title just recently in basketball, going down there to the same venue, obviously the Convo, and playing baseball at OU. I think there's a lot of similarities there, and just go down there and take the same approach that you guys have been doing, and hopefully you can be a district champion in baseball as well and continue the run. So
Yeah, they've been hot. Whether like 12 or 13 wins in a row.
knock on wood.
Yeah,
Been a good
it's
hit.
a good
No
time
jinxing.
to be hot.
Yeah.
Oh, I can tell
Playing
you,
your best at the end.
I think I said this probably about a month ago because I've been missing some. But I was a basketball player first, but baseball. My favorite memory in high school was a senior when I was in baseball. We got to the Final Four. I batted ninth, played second base, but that was. Getting to the Final Four, that was my best memory. It topped being the player of the year in basketball and
Gold
everything
ball,
else.
basketball, all that. Yeah, I agree.
It's where special memories are made. So keep playing well and have fun, and you never know where you're going to end up. So, all right, guys. Well, appreciate you coming on.
sir.
Yeah, thank you.
And we're going to take a quick break.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par-Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par-Mar has it. Download the Par-Mar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Par-Mar rewards card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
See everything Southern Ohio Sports Authority presented by Ohio Health has to offer by visiting our website at sosaohio.com for complete coverage of area athletes and teams, including game stories, features, live streams of games, player and coach interviews, nightly scores, area standings, and much more. You can even view and purchase action photos from our more than 100 galleries. That's sosaohio.com for the best local sports coverage around.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Caleb Williams has transferred to Wendy's for the new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This burger's my inspiration, and I just hope to inspire you.
Oh, you have inspired us.
Thought we were doing names on the headband.
Get it together. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie & Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
Welcome back to the Haynes Total Healthcare Coaches Call-In Show by Sosa. And joining us now is Piketon Lady Red Streaks softball coach Mark Blakeman. Coach, I know we talked to you last Tuesday on the telephone and talked about, you kind of liked your chances a little bit, and you guys had a really good week down there at OU. Just talk to us about those couple games.
So anytime you're in the districts and you're winning, it's fun time. So the game against Eastern Brown, I've been asking these girls all season to hit the scoreboard for me. And actually, Danny Ritchie finally made it happen against Eastern Brown. She hit the scoreboard. So that was one good thing. Of course, we hit well. We've been hitting well all year, and it's been continuing. So the two district games, the district championship game actually was obviously the best game, just because we didn't win by more than we did against Eastern Brown, but winning a district championship is really good, really fun.
Yeah, I know you guys scored 5 runs in that first inning against Zane Trace, and maybe it kind of relaxed your players a little bit. Just kind of talk about maybe how that first big inning offensively just kind of settled your girls down.
So we talk about trying to score early and often. A lot of times when you score in the first or second inning, any kind of runs, a lot of teams, not all, but a lot of teams, they get down and they're pretty much done. So you can actually win the game in the first couple innings by really scoring some runs, and that's what we try to focus on is really scoring runs. Our leadoff batter, Aubrey Heath, we go as she goes. She gets on. Seems like against St. Trace there, she led off with the home run, and then Jay gets a base hit. Breyer gets a base hit. Addie gets base. It's just chain reaction, and then we end up scoring 5 runs. So that was real fun to do to start, and when you can do that, you have a big advantage.
Absolutely. I think the other thing it does too, it relaxes your pitcher and maybe even the coaches some. You don't have to worry about being as perfect, right? You want to throw strikes. You don't want to walk kids. You want to make the other team earn it. And obviously you guys got a good pitcher and you got good defense behind your pitcher also.
Yes. Kendall Carroll's been wonderful this year. She's pitched really great. And I know when we do jump out like that, and I've heard, she's just like, I don't have to be, like you said, I don't have to be perfect. If I miss a spot, I know I've heard that she says, I'm not worried about that because my defense will bail me out if I do miss a spot.
Yeah, I had a really good feeling about you guys going into that district semifinal game. I think we talked to you right before that, I think. You guys took care of business. Then obviously St. Trace did the same. And then I just think it says a lot about our league where we had 2 teams playing for a district championship. Obviously you won it, and then they were the district runner-up. Then on the other side of that, you had Adina vying for a district title as well. So we had 3 of the 4 teams, playing for district championships. So I just, and we've said it all year long, just talk a little bit about how the league has prepared you for this tournament run.
Yeah, the RSVC league is really good, pretty much top to bottom. They obviously you got to be pretty good to make it where Adina did, where Zane Trace did, and where we're at. And our district is really tough too. Yeah. You're talking Willersburg, Ironton, Northwest this year. There's a lot of really good teams in our district, and it's tough to make it where we're at right now.
You guys, correct me if I'm wrong, we were the 4 seed, right?
We were the 4 seed, yes.
And 4 seed and win a district title. That's
yeah.
And you already mentioned the teams that are in there with you. That we received the 4 seed as an SVC champion. In a really good softball league,
yeah,
and the teams above you obviously are really good as well. So
yeah, so our league's really tough, and we I think if we can get to like last year we end up we get knocked out by Wellston, which at that time I'm pretty sure they were ranked 8th in the state.
And they won a district championship this year as well.
Yeah, and then so this year we get to. I'm pretty sure Willersburg's either number 1 or 2 in the state. So, we get to face them too. So again, our district is really, really tough.
Mm-hmm. It's loaded.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
I agree.
Yeah.
You guys play tomorrow at 2:00. Obviously, that's different now that school's out. What's kind of been your preparation as school's been out? You guys been practicing earlier in the day, or?
Yes, we went. We actually practiced early today. We practiced yesterday, Memorial Day. I kind of made it voluntary, and pretty much everybody showed up. So I kind of made it voluntary so I can see actually who would show up, and we had a good turnout. So I was pleased to see that. And we practiced early today to also to give our players time to go to the boys game, and also we just came from our softball banquet for the school tonight, so we had a lot going on today.
Yeah, I mean, it's a busy time of year, obviously, and that's the thing with spring sports is you've got to get this in. Banquets and things like that. I mean, it's just so many different things you have to deal with. Graduation, banquets. Your boys' team was still alive, working around that. So, but it's a good problem to have. I mean, I think it's always exciting to be able to still be doing stuff. School's out, so there's a lot less pressure on the kids, and I just think it's an exciting time for sure.
Yeah, it's always fun to be playing when school's out. That means you're doing really well.
Exactly.
Well, Coach, tomorrow you got a regional semifinal game against Wheelersburg. Just kind of like initial thoughts about that game going in. You guys more worried about yourself more than anything else, or?
So we talked to players and pretty much told them, let's just do what we've done all year. I mean, it's worked. I don't care who we play. Let's just do what we've been doing and go in with the same mindset that we have all season. And we're not going to change anything up. There's no reason to. Nope. Obviously, it's working what we're doing. So we're going to do what we do and have the same mindset going into this game as any other game. It doesn't matter who we're playing.
Yeah, I agree. I think when you try to start changing things or adjusting to your opponent this late in the game, especially in like the game of softball, kids start thinking and not playing. And, my philosophy is just go be who you are. And if it's good enough, it is. And if it's not, let's learn from it and try to be better, the next time. So.
Right. Yep. We got, like I said, it's got us where we're at today. So we're not changing nothing.
Yeah, I feel like you guys are in a good spot. Like, we talked to Miami Trace boys basketball. Remember, they went undefeated during the regular season. We kind of talked about sometimes it's good to lose a game or two in the regular season. You have a little bit of adversity. You got to figure out what you got to do. And I really feel like you guys are in a good place right now. You've been playing some really good softball for a while now. And, I don't know how many close games Wheelersburg has had, but, let's say they're losing or it's a tie game, a third or fourth inning, you don't know what they're going to do in that type of pressure. So I feel like you guys are in a good spot. Play loose, have nothing to lose, and go out and just see what happens. So
yeah, I agree. That's our game plan.
Well, Coach, you got anything else for him?
No, I think all the questions will be answered that we have with these next 4 guests we have in here.
Okay. Well, we're gonna take a break, and we're gonna have Aubrey Heath, Jalen Forbes, Reese Shanks, Kendall Carroll, and what's the fifth one's name?
Are you talking about the fish?
Yeah.
Coke Butter Cheese.
And Coke Butter Cheese joining us on this Haynes Total Healthcare Coach's Call-In Show.
the Haynes Total Healthcare Coaches Show.
I'm Aubrey Heath, and I'm a sophomore from Piketon.
I'm Reese Shanks, and I'm a sophomore from Piketon.
I'm Kendall Carroll, and I'm a senior from Piketon.
I'm Jalen Forbes, and I'm a sophomore from Piketon.
All right, girls, obviously it's a little bit different setup. You're kind of taking over our studio. So just kind of talk to us about, obviously the end of your season, and the tournament run you've been on so far.
We went to the Eastern game. We hadn't seen much about them. We knew that they had a decent record. We had a higher seed than them. So we went in with the mentality that we've been going in with all of our games, that we were going to win, and we just have to go in there with confidence. Zane Trace game, we had already beat him twice, and we went in knowing it's hard to beat a team 3 times, but if any team's going to do that, it's us. Went in with confidence, scored 5 in the first inning, and it's history from there.
And first at bat, you're a home run.
Yeah.
So obviously set the table with the first at bat. Now, typically you want your first leadoff hitter to get on base, not just around them.
Yeah.
You've done that 12 times this year, I believe, and just kind of talk about what you're trying to do at the plate as a leadoff batter, even though you have some pop.
I just go up with the mindset that I just get on base just to get my team started, because when I get on base, we all hit, and I just know that I have to go up there and just do something.
Rest of you guys, you want to add on to that about how that impacts the rest of the game with her being able to get on base the way she does?
Well, for me in the mound, how she gets on the base and all that, it helps us get like an early lead, and it really helps my nerves when pitching out there. I know that if I let up like a run or 2, I'll be okay, because we just scored like 7, so it's okay.
It always gives me more confidence that if she gets on, I'm like, all right, now I know I can get on.
So you hit second?
Yeah.
So you're right behind her?
Mhm.
Okay. What about you?
Yeah,
What's
I
your...
definitely think once Aubrey gets on, it's like a chain reaction for everyone else, and they feel more confident that they don't have that pressure on them to also get it started, because Aubrey got it started.
Yeah.
So everyone from there just kind of.
Is your game tomorrow in Athens again?
Mm-hmm.
Talk about how this will be the 3rd time you played there in less than a week, I think. So just kind of talk about the first time you went down there, and now kind of what you're expecting the 3rd time you go down.
The first time was kind of nerve-wracking because we didn't know the field, but we were also excited to play on that field. But now that we know, we've been down there, twice already?
Yeah.
So now we're going to walk in there, and we're going to be more confident and everything.
It's almost like you've been there now. It's still important and still fun to play down there, but like that part of it's over with. Now you're more on focused on the job.
Now it feels like our field.
Business.
Yeah.
Job at hand. Yeah. All right. Obviously, the last time that you guys were on, 2 of you, we talked a lot about these props you have on the table. Jeran wasn't able to be in that night, so kind of just give us a rundown of what you guys brought with you and how that plays a role on your team.
Yeah. All right.
Start with the fish.
All right, so here's Coke Butter Cheese. He's been to all of our games except for the first few because it was too cold outside.
But he watched from home.
Yeah, he watched from home. But the News Watchman actually got a picture of him, and they put him in the News Watchman, so that was a big deal. Our bomb squad chain, it's when we hit our home runs, and whoever hits the last home run gets to keep the chain until someone else hits it.
Hold on. Let's go back to that. How many
okay.
times has that chain been used this year? Do you guys know?
25 times. We've hit 25 home runs as a team.
It's a lot.
Yeah. And then, so it's been passed around a lot. And then we got these tattoos, which these are for you guys. You get to put them on next time we see you guys. those are the ones we wore for the tournaments.
Last game. This was from last game.
Yeah, so it gave us good luck. Hopefully it'll give you guys good luck too.
I don't know what Jeran and I need good luck with. Maybe mowing the grass or something. Jeran, you can wear this at your Little League games. Coaching third base.
And here's our blowhorn.
Whose is that?
This is my dad's, Jericho.
Wait,
can I give a little blow? What happens if I give a little blow?
No.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, this is your guys' show.
I don't know if the things are in.
I'm covering my ears.
There it is. And when does that get used?
Home runs and at the end of a game that we win. But sadly, they won't let us use it.
Jericho will get kicked out if he blows it.
Yeah, my dad will get kicked
like
out.
he was walking around with them. They had him on lockdown. They're like,
Yeah,
you can't have that.
Yeah, he was like.
So they knew about it going in.
Yeah.
He had a
The
reputation.
umpires was talking to our athletic director, and
she had to run over and
Miss
tell
Karina
him.
had
and
to
she
shut
was
it
like,
down.
"I heard that one of your fans have a blowhorn," and she was like, "Yeah."
If he uses that, he will be removed from.
Yeah, that's what they said, but.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Not worth it. Okay. Let's talk about your matchup with Wheelersburg. Obviously, a perennial powerhouse softball program, won the state tournament multiple times within the last few years. Talk about like your mindset going into that game and your approach as tomorrow, gets here tomorrow.
I mean, we don't really have anything to lose, so we can just go in and do our thing and hope for the best.
Have you guys seen them play this year?
We actually
We
scrimmaged
played
them.
against them in the beginning of the year, and we lost pretty bad.
We lost pretty bad, but
we're not the team we were.
Yeah, we're a different. I feel like we're a different team. We're a better team. We just have to go in with confidence, knowing that we can win. Coach Aaron was actually talking to us today, and he said, if there's one team that can beat Wheelersburg, it's us. And that really sunk in because, I mean, we have a strong defense, strong offense. As long as we just don't get in our heads, can't look at the name across their shirts, just got to play like
Faceless opponent. Faceless opponent.
Yeah.
I've said this before to a lot of teams I've coached that may have gone into a game as an underdog. You don't have to beat them in a 7-game series. It's a 1 game. You have to have one more run than them. And obviously, I think you guys are already talking about the right things already. Just with that mindset, I think you guys have a real chance, and that's all you can ask of yourselves at this time. You guys mentioned that you scrimmaged them earlier in the season. What's the difference? Maybe one or two of the biggest differences in your guys' team from, that scrimmage probably back in March to now the end of May.
I would say that we played kind of scared, and we were on our A game that day. I remember my dad was already going back to the scrimmage, saying, like, we need to do this different, we need to do that. And we also had, 14 errors, I think, during that game.
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
16 or 15.
Yeah, a pretty big number of errors. So now that we have our, defense on lockdown, we'll be a lot better.
And do you guys think that just with what you've done this entire season, it's given you confidence?
Yeah, we have a lot of confidence
as the season's gone along.
Yeah. And also, when we were watching their warm up, we got beat. Watching them
we
warm
mentally
up because
just blocked
our
ourselves.
warm up wasn't great at the time. After that, we changed our warm up. Our warm up's flawless now, so I don't think we'll be intimidated going into the game.
Do you think that's more of your warm ups now being better? Is that more of a mental thing, or is that more of a physical thing that you've actually?
I think it's both.
Yeah, both.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, obviously you guys are always welcome to come back onto the show. It's always a good time having you. Wish you guys nothing but the best tomorrow. Hopefully all of this stuff works out and you guys can continue to use it. But appreciate having you guys come on, and wish you nothing but the best tomorrow.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
All right, thank you.
All right, we're going to go to a quick break, and we come right back. We'll wrap up tonight's show.
Welcome back to the Haynes Total Healthcare Coaches Call-In Show. My ear's still ringing a little bit. I was practicing with that horn out there, and
mighty,
very mighty.
I told the story the first time they were on. I was watching their first game when they were playing at Unyota, and the dad that has the horn, Jericho Heath, had it, and I didn't know it, and I was just leaning over the fence watching it. Well, she hit a home run, and man, that thing went off. It's scary. That thing's loud.
I knew it was coming.
And then you shoot it off in here. It's really loud.
Yeah.
So
well, that's going to be a wrap for tonight's show, and this also is our last show of the spring season. So something new we tried this year, giving spring sports some coverage. Hope everybody liked it. I think it's probably something we'll look to continue to do in the future. I think it was a good thing.
I know
spring sports don't get a lot of coverage.
They don't, and I've talked to quite a few people and coaches that have really been appreciative of the opportunity. Maybe if they didn't get to come in or even call in, but like just talk about the different things that were happening in our spring sports season. So I think it was a positive thing. Obviously we want to wish the best of luck to all the teams that are still remaining and all the local track athletes that are still available or are still participating as well. Obviously, we didn't get to have any of those guys in, but it seemed like every time we had a show on a Tuesday, there was a track meet. Yep. So it's unfortunate we get to those guys and girls, but maybe something we can work that out. Next spring season when we do it again.
Absolutely. Well, like Matt said, just want to wish all the remaining teams the best of luck. Baseball's in that district final range, and softball starts their regional play. And, hopefully we have some teams keeping on, and maybe get somebody to the state tournament. It'd be really nice. So appreciate everybody tuning in and watching us tonight and the whole spring season. And we'll be back in the fall on the Haynes Total Healthcare Coaches Call-In Show.